Hey, we're here, everybody. Can you believe it? Volume 111, or I do believe that's a unlucky number in cricket, a cricketer's Nelson 111. So let's hope the stream isn't going to be, any bad luck or anything tonight. So let's hope it runs well and no kind of high jinx or anything on the stream. So, yeah. Good evening, everybody. Today is Tuesday, 15th of June. Yep, and guess what? If you're in the UK, another month of no freedom. Can you believe it? It seems the politically correct or woke Delta variant, or the Indian strain to the rest of us, seems to be running a muck in the UK. So, yes, PM Johnson didn't close the airline routes out of India when he should have. Seems to be a kind of common theme, especially with what happened at the beginning. So, yeah, we're all no freedom for at least another 5 weeks. Can you believe it? So, yeah. Nice one, Prime Minister. So there you go. So Coof still ongoing, all bollocks, getting sick of it. Can you believe it? On a more serious note, though, can you believe this? It's been really, really kicking off this week. So yeah, Hollywood seems to be going after the fandom again, or the customers to the initiated, like us. So yeah, this week saw James Mangold, who we did invite to come on the show. Can you believe it? I don't think he's turned up though. So, Mr. Mangold has gone for the fandom again. Obviously, he's directing Indiana Jones 5. He's been going for the fandom again through a series of replies to tweets that have come out of the fandom. Yeah, in a nutshell, he's a bit pigged off. No one is giving the film a chance, and he's especially grumpy with Matthew Kaddish. Apparently, one of our guests is friends with him, so that will be very interesting to see the juice of that, as it were. So, yeah, so other than that, not a lot happening. Usual bollocks, Coof, Hollywood, blah, blah, blah. So, should we get the guest out? I think we should. First off, a true Star Wars fan in every sense of the word. He's the bouncer on the door of the channel, whose Euro dream is over, all the way from Las Vegas. We have the wonderful, not Brian Young. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Brown. Good evening, chat. How are we all?
Yes, I'm pretty good. Are you, Brian?
I'd imagine most of you would be better than me after Monday's afternoon's result.
Listen, I'm a Sassanaka, mate, and I was disappointed for you. I know how it feels, mate.
It's to an old guard like me, it's no real surprise. It's the younger ones I feel sorry for, whom I actually thought we could have done something, but
yeah, I know. It's not over. There's still a chance. They just have to. They have to beat England. What am I saying? No. I'll take it all back.
Yeah.
So you're good, yeah? You're pumped, yeah?
I'm indeed. RE, the Delta variant. It's not like a Johnson to make a complete mess of things, is it?
No, it's totally out of the blue. That is, isn't it? Anyway, moving on. As I always say, moving on. Okay, so shall we get the next guest out? I think we should, yeah? Here we go. Next, the sage, or should I say, I haven't typed it out correctly. I do apologize. The wise sage of the channel, Indiana Jones fan, sir, the director, and fully paid up member of the Indiana Jones VHS Club. He is the great mega geek himself, Ian David Diaz.
Hello. I'm here. No
Did
need
you
to
like-
worry because I'm here.
Did you like your slightly amended introduction?
Yeah, that's good. I forgot to show you my Raiders of the Lost Ark cap. Actually, I might show it to you.
Yeah, well,
halfway
shall we do
through.
that? Yeah, we'll do that later. Yeah, so
Yeah,
you
sure,
good? Yeah, you good? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Have you?
I'm good. Good.
Have you been working?
Yeah, all day. Apart from when I was I went on Dan's channel today. So, yeah, had fun on a Doctor Who channel, and now I'm on this channel. So that's good.
Is
It's always
Dan
good, isn't it?
well?
Yeah, he's all right. He's fine. His channel's doing very well. Apparently,
It is.
So,
It is.
yeah, it's doing
Everybody
well.
should check out the Spacebook channel, the best channel you've never heard of, peeps.
How are you doing,
really-
Brian?
Yeah, not bad. Stuff.
Excellent, excellent. I'm doing all right. It's a bit warm.
Stuff. Good to hear.
It is going to be warmer tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah,
Shall we get the last guest out, the man himself,
yeah.
if we must?
Mhm.
Okay, last but not least, fifth time on the channel, the Hollywood legend who's caught in a trilogy writing time loop. Here he is, live on location from Kathy's hotel room somewhere in Yorkshire, the Manbaby himself, Ruin Trilogy King Johnson.
Hello, man babies. Good to see you all. And I have to say, Brian, my commiserations to Scotland, but it did remind me of when the audience watching my fabulous, perfect movie, The Last Jedi, because all the Scottish fans filed into the stadium. They were so full of optimism and joy and excitement. And slowly, as time ticked by, you could see the poor little hearts break. And in fact, I do believe many walked out before the end. So it did indeed remind me. But there we go.
Uncanny parallels there.
Poor Brian.
Oh, commiserations, Brian.
Thanks.
Nevertheless, you've always got The Last Jedi on Blu-ray to cheer you up.
The one thing that will keep me going.
I think I used that as a doorstop. I think my Blu-ray.
Could you not use the disc as a coaster?
I did. It's the top of my drink. It's at the bottom of my drink right now, actually. So there you go. That's all it's good
Ruin, are you fine, my friend? Are you good?
I'm very well, very excited to talk about my Hollywood friend, Mr. Mangold. I see he's out for my crown, bashing the fans and abusing the fans. So we won't be having any of that. So there's only one ruinator in Hollywood. So yes, very excited to talk about him.
It sounds like you're in Kathy's bathroom.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, you know, when nature calls and all, but just give me 10 minutes, as they say, and I'll.
Listen,
Trying
mate,
to fix a thong.
being that it's you, you can have 15. So everybody's good, yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously we've got the main man himself. He's just said that he's on to discuss what's been going on this week. So I'm sure we'll talk about Star Wars at some point because everything always goes back to Last Jedi. Of course. Shall we just pay some respects to Ned Beatty, Mega Geek?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm
a,
sorry.
a ringing endorsement.
No. He's
Very disrespectful.
He was a fine actor, Ned Beatty. Obviously, everybody remembers him as Otis in Superman the movie, but he was in Deliverance. He's been in a crap load of movies.
That was his breakout role, apparently, which I didn't know.
Yeah, and he's been in a lot of TV shows and a very accomplished actor. By all accounts, a very nice guy. It's a shame that he's gone. Yeah, it's just a shame that he's gone.
I just basically wrote a paragraph. He died 13th of June, aged 83, born 1937, married to Sandra Johnson. Is he related? Is that your mother, Ruin?
Well, old Sandy is it's great grandma Sandy. Actually, she likes a toy boy. So yes.
So you truly are Hollywood royalty, yes.
Well, that goes without saying. For God's sake, I mean, I don't know how I'm letting you get away without calling me sir all this time.
Sir is a British knighthood thing. You're American, mate. It would only be honorary.
Yeah, I guess, wouldn't it?
So
I'll be speaking to Kathy about this.
okay. It says, yeah, so married to Sandra Johnson, obviously. Can you believe there's 8 children?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
He must have strong seed.
No television.
no television. Yeah, I just obviously everybody remembers him from. I mean, he was in a lot of TV shows, but as I said, everybody, if you mention Ned Beatty, it's Otis, isn't it? I mean, even though that part wasn't a very big part,
Superman
it was,
1 and 2,
yeah. Well, he was only in it for like 15 minutes in Superman 2, wasn't he? And they dumped him in the jail, and he didn't get out of the jail, did he?
Yeah, he didn't go up the ladders. He was too heavy to go up the ladders.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Starred in
so there you
Toy Story as well.
Yes, he did the voice for the pink teddy bear, was it?
Okay.
In the third one, I think it was.
Okay.
Was it? Am I right there? I'm probably wrong.
I don't know, to be fair. It's been so long since I've seen the film. So
The 83, though, is a good innings, though. Let's face it. Very, very good innings. He probably had I think he had a good life. It seems like he did what he
with
loved.
8 kids, I think he did, yeah.
Yeah. That's why he had to work a lot.
Yeah. He did. So, okay, so we'll just say rest in peace, Ned Beatty.
Yeah.
So shall we get on to the assuming my technology works?
It's a good picture, though.
Old
there he
trouser
is.
snake. Matthew Kaddish.
Kadish, if you don't mind.
Kaddish.
What
Tomato. Let's call the old thing off.
what's that in?
To anyone thinking hashtag Indiana Jones might be good, just let me point out ... 1, Steven Spielberg is not directing. 2, these are just hammer blow. Every single point is a hammer blow, isn't it? Kathleen Kennedy is producing.
Oh, fantastic.
3, Harrison Ford is 78 years old.
He still looks fit, though.
Yeah, he don't look bad. Yeah, to be fair.
He doesn't look bad. Not for
Very sexy.
Listen, I would consider it a victory if I'm still moving at 78. So it don't look bad. So point number 4, it's written by Jonathan Kasdan. Who wrote Solo.
Right. So every point there is a dud. Every point's a dud.
Oh, here we go. Here's Mangold with the reply.
Would you like to discuss the points, or shall we just go straight in for the artillery?
Well, what is there to discuss, though? I mean, all those points are valid, aren't they?
Yeah, they are very kind of mic drop points.
Apart from 4.
Obviously, apart from 2 for Ruin.
Well, I mean, it's just the points just keep getting better for me. I mean, no Spielberg, screw him. Kathy, yes, we love Kathy's. Old Harrison, the older he gets, the better he gets. He's like, he ages like rotten fruits. And finally, Solo, what a fine script with, feminazi robots. And, it's perfect.
Yes, it had the Waller Bridge touch, didn't it?
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe Kathy's learned her lesson. Maybe this Indiana Jones film will be a boy's own adventure like the others. Well, apart from the last one, that was rubbish. But like the first 3, who knows? as I said, I think it's really setting in that she is the destroyer of Star Wars. So maybe she's looking for something to to say to the fans that, I destroyed Star Wars, but I'm sorry, here's Indiana Jones, the way it's supposed to be. Who knows?
Well, one thing she hasn't changed, which I'm pleased to see, she's still very happy for directors to abuse the fans. So,
yeah.
Well played, Kathy.
But she's not in. I'm assuming she's not in charge of his mouthpiece. So you know what I mean. So
what you're saying is she's not working him from behind.
Nah, but the thing is though, it is bad that directors do that. Stay off Twitter. If I was an actor, say a big Hollywood actor, I would stay off Twitter. Why would you want to be on Twitter so that everybody can mark everything you've said and use it against you? Makes no sense, right?
Well, something to ponder. I'm yet to see anyone get so goddamn defensive over a fantastic movie. So maybe it's rather telling that Mr. Mangold was triggered. Maybe it's slightly indicative of the god-awful mess he's about to unleash on us. But surely nothing can be worse than the last Indiana Jones. But maybe we're about to find out.
We're going to find out, yeah.
Shall we read the reply?
Oh,
go on then. What's he say?
Okay, so obviously starts off with some courtesy. Thanks, Matt. And then he replies with some points of his own. So number one, keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in the first week of production from your basements.
You see that? See that first line, right? Is basically crap. I'm a geek, but I don't live in my basement. I'm pretty sure none of you live in your basement, right? So that's just having a go at. Yeah, that's just having a go at geeks. Just having a go at all of us, really. What a twat.
Shall we just we'll just put that to the chat. We've got a few in. The question is, chat, do you have a basement? Simple yes or no.
Do you live in it?
Indeed.
Me?
Do you live in your basement?
Yeah, I mean, that we're talking about the 70s there, or maybe it's still rife in America. I don't know because I don't live in America, but in England, especially if you live in London, nobody can afford a basement, can they? Let alone a house, for God's sakes, in London. So it's just it's all bollocks,
I can't afford
really.
A house. It is right. It is. It's all bollocks. Yes. So, Brian, anything you want to say on that? Are you taking notes? I assume you're.
No, but I think directors are under an enormous amount of pressure to get things right. So a 16-hour work day, no time to relax, which it makes it a bit more bewildering that Mangold should be having a 24-hour meltdown with Matthew Kadish on Twitter. And Kadish is a decent bloke, as Anthony will tell you. So
yeah,
the criticism wasn't that harsh, considering some of the stuff you see on Twitter on a daily basis.
No, you're dead right, and I've shed the ruin moniker, if that's all right, because I want to just sort of kind of give my own opinions on this, because I do know Matthew. I've known him for several years now. So actually, he was, I think I'm right in saying, the first ever guest I had on the Fandom Menace podcast. So yeah, and I've been on the Salty Nerd podcast. So we've been in touch, like I said, many years, and he's a writer as well. So we exchange lots of kind of, thoughts and advice and so on. First thing I'll say is Matt's a really good guy. He's not, I know the fandom's a wide spectrum and there are trolls and so on, but Matthew's not one of those. Secondly, I'm glad you started with what he put, because it really wasn't that bad. He was just making some fairly valid points, to be honest. And thirdly, yeah, Ian, you're right. What the hell is a director doing getting involved with I mean, I think later on you might come to them, Brownie, but he refers to Matthew as a journalist. He's not a journalist. I mean, he's a podcaster and a YouTuber. But to get involved like this and start getting so defensive, and then just the whole basement dweller thing, it's just embarrassing, isn't it? It's like school ground stuff. It's
But also, the guy that said all those points, why did he even bother? What's the look? If you say something like that on Twitter, expect to have a fight. He's basically poking the hornet's nest, isn't he? Which is stupid, right? I put up something on Twitter yesterday, and I said, I think, in my opinion, the best superhero movies is Superman and Superman and Spider-Man 2, right? And then people started giving their comments, whatever. And there was two people, I won't name them, was arguing over it. You know, why argue? You know, if somebody says they don't agree, that's fine. Just go, okay. You know, why have an argument? And this is a prime example. That guy, even though Mangold, as I call him, even
Mr.
though
Mangold,
Mr. Mangold,
Manbaby gold.
Manbaby Gold, even though he said all that crap, which is wrong to say as a director, the other guy shouldn't have said that in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Because he wants a fight, doesn't he?
I mean,
stupid Mangold decided to fight with him.
Well,
do you know what I mean?
The thing is, Matthew didn't actually tweet him directly. That was
he didn't
tag
him.
Right? Okay, I gotcha. So,
but he didn't tag him. Yeah.
Oh, right. So how did he know about that tweet though?
I don't think know. Someone in his replies actually put Mangold's name on it. Put his Twitter.
There we go.
Well, going back to hornets, you can't go up to a hornet's nest with a stick and not expect.
Exactly, and that's what he's doing. You know, why put something like that out? You know, you're going to get backlash, aren't you? And in fact, right, if Mangold was upset about that, why didn't he just block the guy? So he doesn't have to talk to him ever again, and he can't see anything that he puts up either. That's just the easy way out. It's really funny how people want to argue these days. It's crazy. Makes no sense.
You don't think Mangold is under pressure?
It doesn't matter. There's no excuse for being rude, and there's no excuse for starting a fight either. If you start a fight, you're an idiot. Do you know what I mean? There's no excuse for it. I'm sorry, but we're meant to be civilized people now, you know?
I could be completely wrong here, but I think the fact he reacted so badly to that, I'm reading between the lines, or reading too much into it, I think something's going on that he would
of
respond
course,
in such a fashion.
He's either probably doing the Indiana Jones film for money, and he knows the script is crap, or he's just an idiot to reply to this guy. It's one or the other, right? Because sometimes when people get angry, if you say something that's quite close to the truth,
perhaps he likes it,
and then you react, don't you?
Yeah.
Perhaps he likes a challenge. He knows
that's
dud.
Not it.
He knows it's a dud.
This is a guy who's got actually a good track record in movies. Some very
good films.
You know, Logan off the top of my head was one I really rated, and in fact, I often use that as a
Ferrari.
Yeah, another great one. Logan, I use as a comparison to what they could have done with Luke in The Last Jedi, the way they handled the aging Wolverine, and you know, he's kind of depleted, slightly grouchy and everything else, but still in essence the character we know. And so he's done some good stuff, Mangold.
He did Walk the Line as well, which is a fantastic film.
Yeah, he's accomplished director. I just don't see why he's opened his big trap or written in Twitter to degrade himself. Just block the guy. That's it, and just carry on directing Indy 5. Do it the best of your ability. That's it.
Two wrongs don't make a right, do they, Ian?
No, but they do make a left though. I think. No, that doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. But yeah, I don't know, pal. I really don't. I don't understand why people argue on Twitter. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it's a cesspool, isn't it?
Just block them, man.
We will just say hello to the chat. PCAT, if Mangold had class, he should have said, I hope you will give the movie a chance.
Yeah.
My goal is to make indie fans, well, basically happy.
Just do the best you can. That's all.
I think that's a great point. Yeah. It's you know, if you want a comparison, have a look at how Ron Howard handled Solo, which has been name checked because
that lost money, didn't it?
It did. It did massively lose money. I mean, sorry. yeah, I mean, what happened is I think Ron Howard came in quite late in the day, and was asked to kind of, it was the Benioff and Weiss, wasn't it, who were pulled from it. Is it Benioff and Weiss? Am I confused?
Lord and Miller.
That's the ones. I knew it was the duo. Yeah, Lord and Miller. Apologies. Yeah, it was Lord and Miller who were trying to go with this kind of comedy. I'd love to see a cut of what they were, whatever they're trying to do. Actually, it might have been.
We know somebody who was involved in the film,
Okay.
and apparently you are correct. There was comedy.
Yeah.
But I think it was the endless reshoots that basically pissed the powers that be off.
Yeah,
it wasn't the powers that be. It was Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy got pissed off. That's what I heard. I know someone that was on the set as well.
Yeah,
Kathleen Kennedy got pissed off with them just taking too long.
Endless takes.
So they brought Ron Howard in, safe pair of hands, great track record to get it over the line, and he did. And it wasn't his baby, his creation, but he did what was asked. Now, maybe as a result of Last Jedi, as a result of fans being pissed off, or maybe because it wasn't a great movie anyway, there was a bit of a negative reaction to Solo. But you know what? Ron Howard handled it brilliantly. He just kind of said, look, we did our best with it. I know it's not for everyone, and it was that kind of approach, and it just took the sting out of it. This, I just don't get. Like you're saying, what's he even doing trawling through his mentions? I mean, I don't even trawl through the Ruin Johnson mentions because it's a bloodbath. But it's a strange one, and obviously it's not a one-off reply. It was pretty much 24 hours of different exchanges and tweets, and the abuse continued. So
it makes no sense, does
bizarre.
it? To us, it makes no sense. Just block the guy and then just move on with your life.
Yeah.
I always think that people that are on Twitter that have arguments, maybe they don't have anything in their life, so that's what they, love doing. Apparently, you know what? Right? It's really easy to say crap when you're not in front of that person. Try saying it in front of a real person right in front of you. You'll either get decked or you'll either both laugh and have a beer together. Do you know what I mean? Either one or the other, isn't it? So, yeah.
Hey, guess who's here?
Just maybe that then.
The next guest is here, everybody.
It's Mangold.
No, something far better than Mangold. He's the jester from Leicester. I'm reading this off the top of my head. The jester from Leicester, painter and decorator, Star Wars writer, novelist, good all-round egg, blah, 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 blah. Here he is. Swap Shop.
Hello, Swap Shop.
I'm not an egg. I'm not a bloody egg. Stop it.
All right, Matt. How you doing, pal?
I'm good. I'm very garlicky.
Oh, you've been eating pizza?
Been watching Friends.
It was nice. Yes, just had a nice meal out with the old man. He bought me a pizza, so that was nice of him.
That was nice of him. Yeah,
nice posh stone baked thin crust pizza.
Ooh, nice. Get me hungry now. Get me hungry.
Yeah,
was it as round as Ryan Johnson's head?
Is this carrying on a theme tonight? Have there been lots of round puns already made throughout the rest of the show?
Well, I don't know about the rest, but I'm trying to figure out why people have arguments on Twitter. It makes no sense to me. Absolutely none. Yeah.
Oh, it's all down to the impersonal nature of it, isn't it? When you can't see the other person and everything comes across like an argument when you first look at it. It's like someone's straight away, doesn't it?
Let me tell you a little story, right, about how being kind kills people when they're angry. So basically, I was shooting a corporate video, and this actress was only meant to be there for half a day, and so she ended up because of technical difficulties, she ended up being there the full day. So I get this text from her after the shoot saying, "I've only got paid this amount. I should get paid for the full day." And I said to her, "Well, in the budget, right? That you agreed to the pay." Right, even though we went, because you know what shoots are like, you can go over, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. So she kept at me on my texts, going, this is not fair, blah blah blah. I'm not going to work for you ever again, blah blah blah, whatever, and all that crap. And then I just went, okay, well, I'll give you some money then, right? And her whole attitude changed. She was like, no, I don't want you to give me money. I want the company to give you money. I'm like, but the company doesn't have any money. You know, if it's just 50 quid, I'll give it to you out of my own pocket. It doesn't bother me, you know. And the whole attitude changed within that argument. It was like, oh no, I'm really sorry. You know, you don't have to cough up from your own pocket, blah, blah, blah. And I just text her back saying, then what is this all about then? Why are we arguing? Do you know what I mean? You want the money, I'm offering it to you. Now you don't want it. It doesn't make any sense at all. Right?
It's a reverse psychology situation, isn't it? As soon as you give them what they want, that's it. You know, it's
I don't want to argue. You know, if you feel you've been undone, you know, I'll correct it for you. No, but it shouldn't be from you. But that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is you're getting what you want. Now you want to argue about it?
You completely defanged the whole animosity, haven't you? So they can't do it anymore. They're just disarmed utterly. You know, that's the best way to go about it. That shuts everything down. I remember that. Thanks, Ian. God, you're so wise. Every time you're so damn wise.
The sage of the channel.
But Ruin should have. I mean, Mangold should have just said, "Oh, you know, you're entitled to your opinions. I'll do my best. Thank you very much for your comment." And that's it. That would have been the end. The end. Yeah.
What he's done, Mangold, which is maybe, you know, different to your average Twitter user. Mangold's, I don't know what his following is, but I imagine it's in the hundreds of thousands, let's say. He's encouraging a pile on Matthew because he knows that when he replies, his tweet's going to be seen by thousands and thousands of people who are all his followers, and he knows that's a consequence of what he's doing. It's just going to encourage a pile on. You know, he's got to be the bigger person. He's got, and like I say, that would be the perfect way to handle it, wouldn't it? Just say, okay, you know, it sounds like it's not for you, but I'm proud of what we're making, and maybe he'll change your mind when it comes out. And like you say, that just nips it in the bud. But they just, I don't know, it's an ego thing or what. They just can't control themselves like old Roundhead.
It totally is an ego. You're right. Yeah, everyone in the industry seems to have some kind of front-loaded ego when they go into anything. I think it comes from smelling each other's farts and being patted on the back every 5 minutes, and being sort of lauded over by fans indiscriminately and just without question receiving adoration from everybody. And then suddenly, as soon as they come into any kind of criticism, genuine criticism, it triggers some kind of self-defense mechanism, and they have to rebel against it, and they have to kind of launch an offensive immediately. It's like the best course of defense is a strong offense. So they're straight in there straight away trying to repel it, you know, and it comes across as being really insecure.
They sit in their own bubble doing exactly that, Demon. You know, and the minute they get any kind of criticism, you think about Ricky Gervais.
By the way, I just want to say hello to everyone. I haven't said that yet. So hi, Brian. Hi, Mega Geek. Hi, Ruin, you bastard.
Hello.
I don't need to say hi to that person. Okay, Ian. I'm saluting right now, mate. I'm saluting. Well done for another great stream. Even though I'll come in a bit late, it's still great.
Well,
you're always welcome, mate.
But you know what, right? The person I'm actually upset with out of all of this is Harrison Ford. I'm upset that Harrison Ford has decided to do this film without Spielberg, without Lucas, without the team that made those films brilliant.
Yeah,
and to trust Kathleen Kennedy with an unknown director. Do you know what I mean? I'm just upset with Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford should know better.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Unless he needs the money, of course.
He looks like he does
Jesse's tips. This week, I've mostly been eating leather.
Mushrooms.
He looks like a tramp or something like that, doesn't he? That's just wandered into a field.
I wonder if that's under advisement from Kathleen Kennedy that he has to look like an old dishevelled hermit.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a kind of recurring theme we're getting here with hermits and classic actors. Have you seen the Photoshop of this?
It looks like he's been asleep in that field, doesn't it?
Yeah,
open him up to do a shot. You go back to sleep in a minute, Harrison, but you need to come into the shot. Come on.
Someone's photoshopped it so that when you pan out, you see Anakin and Padme from episode 2 at the bottom.
I saw that one. That was great. I saw that. That was superb.
I am just going to say everybody on this stream is very, very salty.
Why?
Oh.
But his trousers are the wrong color. His trousers is lighter. The jacket is
they
way
can
too
fix
dark.
that in post. You of all people know
and
that.
and Indiana Jones always has his shirt tucked in. I don't understand. Maybe he just fell in the water or something, or I don't know, did some physical stuff. That's why he looks like that. It's not a very good picture to show, though. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. This one doesn't look good. This was.
I hate to
misshaped, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate to bring it back to Last Jedi, but you obviously know I'm going to. But you made a really good point, Ian, in that Harrison is so closely associated with the character of Indiana Jones. You just can't imagine anyone else playing it. A lot like Mark Hamill and Luke Skywalker. Now, they've both had it in their power to say, you know what, this doesn't feel right, or this isn't right, and they had that power to step away from it, and they couldn't have. How could they have done it? Could they have recast Mark Hamill in The Last Jedi? I don't think so. But
I don't think that's true. I think they got conned. I think with Harrison Ford it's different. Yeah, you're right about Harrison, but with Mark Hamill, there was a famous picture with Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, and Mark Hamill in the room with JJ in the living room. Do you see that picture? It's black and white, I think it was, and all of them were sitting talking about the next Star Wars film. I remember when that was released, everybody their minds just exploded when
that was the black and white photograph.
Do you remember? Yeah. Right, and I think
in the background.
Yeah, and I think what they did was they told them what they were going to do, then they signed the contract, and then everything changed from that point. And I think they were locked into it, and I think they got screwed. But Harrison Ford is no excuse. Harrison Ford working without Spielberg. Maybe he just needs the money. I don't know, but that's the.
I heard a rumor that he needs a new light aircraft.
He's wrecked all the others. There's a holdo maneuver every time he lands. They got.
Oh, I don't know. Seriously, I don't have any hope for this film at all. I don't know. It just doesn't look well. I'm only judging it from two pictures. Let's see what they're gonna.
I think the visual effects department, especially the CGI department, are going to be very, very busy on this one. Don't you?
Yes,
deep fake department.
Yeah, but you know what? Why release these pictures though? He just looks awful. I mean, couldn't they not released a better? I mean, he looks terrible there as well.
Slightly
better. Yeah.
Unofficial.
That hat looks terrible. It doesn't look like. It just look. I don't know what's going on here. I really don't.
He must have been in some kind of crash because it was flattened in the previous picture. So I think.
Right.
And he looks out of sorts. But I think his face is like. It looks like it's mocapped or something here, but it's going to be mapped with another face because it's covered in dots.
Yeah.
So we don't know the context of the scene, but you're right.
They're even on the clothing as well, as we said the other night. Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to be de-aged or what they're going to do to him, but there's something we don't know that's happening here.
See, as I said, the only thing that spoils this idea of this film is Harrison Ford. If I was in charge, I would probably cast someone else as Indiana Jones and have a whole new crew.
There's only one.
But the thing is, though, they said that about Sean Connery when he was playing Bond, and they were saying, "Oh, no one else can play Bond apart from Sean Connery." And that wasn't true either. And I think this is the same with Indiana Jones as well. If you're going to make an Indiana Jones film, sorry, Harrison, but you're too old. Let's just get somebody else to play him. That's
brutal.
Well, he is. He's too old, isn't he?
Brutal.
Club Star Wars going crazy in the chat over this.
Well, I mean, I'm just being honest.
This the film would have been out this year, wouldn't it? As the 40th.
Oh, yeah.
But I would imagine the coof screwed it all up.
It's screwed a lot of things up, hasn't it?
It screwed up my goddamn trilogy. Would have been out this year.
Well, he's doing Knives Out too, isn't he? So he should be happy. Round 2 and 3. 2 and 3. I barely got through the first one. Let alone 1 and 2, whatever, 2 and 3.
I've not actually seen Knives Out. I'm just gonna.
It's terrible.
No, is it really?
Well, actually, it's got a lot of plot holes in it, and
it's like Swiss cheese.
Yes, it's not very good. I only watched it because my sister wanted to watch it, and she's going, "Oh, Ian, can you watch it with me?" I'm like, "No, this is a Roundhead film. I don't want to watch a Roundhead film." She's like, "Come on, please." So I sat there and watched it with her.
Oh, you're such a great brother.
Whatever.
Shall we go back to the excuse me? Shall we go back to the Mangold points?
Yeah, if we have to.
Assuming my internet. I do apologise. My internet is playing up again, so I do apologise, peeps, if I pop off. Point 2 says, never seen a script by John. Nothing against him, just reality. Butterworths and I started from a blank page.
Well,
so does that mean
everybody
Mr.
starts from a
Mangold-
blank page, don't they? You know what I mean? Why mention that? Anyway,
Does that mean Mr. Mangold has written or doing the screenplay?
Who knows? Who cares?
I mean, starting from a blank page is a little bit disingenuous because, first of all, you've got the character who's very well written, a massive backstory. Secondly, Indiana Jones, a bit like a Bond movie. There's certain things you're gonna have in the movie. You know, he's going to crack the whip. He's going to do. There's going to be some kind of chase type scene. You know, he's going to have like these kind of archaeological adventures. You know, there's certain things where you know. So you've already got the main character. You've got certain things you're going to have to hit on. So he's not really starting from a blank page. But yeah, Mangold should have turned his phone off.
What was that, Brian?
I never said a thing.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's me.
Somebody says.
It's
Oh,
me.
sorry.
I just said that comment by Club Star Wars is great. I love it.
Which one's that?
Yeah, he should have. Yeah.
Mangold should really have turned his
off.
phone off that day. Yes, he should. Oh, yes.
But how old
he
is
obviously wasn't
Mangold
directing.
anyway? How old is he? He's quite old, right? Mangold?
50, around 50-ish.
Oh.
Mid-50s, 50, yeah. Old enough to know better.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's
Nice.
a weird thing. Anyway,
Old
what is
enough
he
to know
saying that
better.
tweet? What is he saying that tweet?
Okay, so point 3, 1 to 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. Whatever that means. Oh, okay.
Is that in reference to Kathy making a decent cup of coffee? Anything else?
Yeah, he's probably got a job lot off George Clooney.
I hear she's the resident fluffer on set. Apologies to you.
Fluffer. That's like the new Resident Evil production, isn't it? Resident Fluffer. That's what it looks like from that picture, anyway.
I just think the guy, he knows he's under pressure.
Well, the thing is, though, you know, you're always under pressure when you're directing, right? Especially a big movie like that. He should be used to it, right? Should he not?
Yeah, he should. He's got a really impressive track record. I don't know why he's which you know, you kind of read between the lines, and I think he's. It sounds like the old the pressure bottle building up, and then all it took is one tweet and pop. Yeah.
Thing is, he's putting pressure on himself, isn't he, by doing this? You know, he's adding more unnecessary pressure. So he could have just handled it diplomatically, and the whole thing would have been calm and fine, and he wouldn't have had to worry about or have the anxiety for this situation. But he's just totally shot himself in the foot.
Yes. As I said, I don't really have any faith in this Indy 5, but we'll see, right? I probably will go and see it because I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah.
I didn't like the last one. I got to admit, I really hated the last one. But hopefully, because he did Logan, so he can't be that bad, surely.
Walk the
Hopefully
Line as
this
well,
will be
great
good.
film.
Yeah.
The problem with the Indiana Jones series is it was almost like a perfect ending after Last Crusade.
It was.
You know, that we had Connery in that perfect role as his father, and just the way it ended, literally riding off into the sunset. That's your perfect ending. I think if they were going to do anything, like a full cinematic, because I know they've done some stuff along these lines, but young Indiana Jones, let's recast and go younger, and you know, that would have been a way to go. But yeah, to kind of wheel him back out, I mean, he looked old in the last one, and that was probably what, 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time now.
2008.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
He didn't look too bad in the last one. It was just the story was just rubbish, and and the stuff that happened in it that wasn't, like falling off the cliff. I know they did that in the second one, but falling off the cliff and bouncing on a tree thing, and and all that rubbish. And the monkeys
thing got me. It's like,
yeah, I don't know. The action scenes were good, but the film just didn't work because the story wasn't good. The aliens and UFOs, and that's not Indiana Jones at all, is it? It's just it didn't work.
You can hint at it, but having it full on in your face right there, I think it kind of took away the foundation of what makes Indiana Jones Indiana Jones. It's kind of grounded, even though there's a supernatural element to it. It's still kind of very, very believable and in the real world, and that just took it way too esoteric, didn't it? I think it was just too airy fairy at that point. People were just switching off. I mean, I was there with about 3 or 4 other people. We were all sitting looking at each other, and you could see their brains just switching off as they were like face palming at the end. I thought, oh no, what have they done?
I mean, it started off well. I love the bit where the hat's on the ground. He grabs the hat and he puts it on. And you can see the shadow, and love that scene. Love the Area 50. Was it 51 scene? Love that scene. Hated the stupid fridge bit. Could have ended it better, and that guy. Seriously, the fridge bit was rubbish. Sorry, guys.
I liked it. Sorry to be controversial. I liked the whole. I did. I liked the whole going out to this nuclear test site thing. I did. I know it's. I know it's a big. I know it's really far fetched that he survived it in that way, but yeah, just the whole nuclear test site little thing. I remember at the time thinking, how the hell is he possibly going to get out of this? And obviously, it was a bit
lead-lined
unusual.
Fridges.
Yeah. No, there was some. You're right, Ian. There's some good stuff, particularly in the first half of the last one. But as it got to the end, it lost me. The kind of the UFO and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I know people say, oh, there's fantasy elements, in Raiders and so on, but not to that extent. Yeah.
In the chat,
everything. Sorry, one thing. Everything looked like it was processed. Like in the beginning when the Nazi woman came out. Was it? No, the Russian woman came out. I can't remember, it's a famous actress. You can tell the background was, I don't know what it was, green screen or whatever. Everything looked processed.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, and Raiders Lost Ark, they were there. They actually flew them out. They were actually there. You know what I mean? So it just, I don't know. There was something about it, especially when it started off. You thought it just didn't feel right.
That's just modern. That's just modern filmmaking, though, isn't it? Slapping in.
But as Chris Nolan proves that you can't make a whole film with CGI. You've got to get out there for the audience to believe more so in what's going on.
Club Star Wars in the chat. Hail Club Star Wars. Do you remember when he escaped from the plane in a rubber dinghy?
Yeah, I do. And that was a terrible moment in Temple of Doom. But Temple of Doom was dark, and it was
never get made now.
It was a lot of fun, Temple of Doom. I mean, there's so many good bits in Temple of Doom. Sorry.
Yeah, that sequence, I could see how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
But it was coming off the tail end of, the Roger Moore era of Bond.
Yeah.
And they were all kind of silly in that respect, were kind of crazy over the top things going on. And you just bought into it, because it was that kind of film. And I just thought that it was kind of a Bondy kind of movie set, 40 years, 50 years before. And I thought, no, you know what? I'm okay with this. It's crazy. It's funny, but it's just typical Indiana Jones getting into an unsurvivable situation and somehow surviving in some ridiculously lucky method. And that's kind of what made the scene, I think, was it being so silly and them surviving, because you're sitting there just laughing. You don't know whether to laugh at it. You don't know whether to laugh with it. You don't know whether to think, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm walking out. But then it leads directly into another scene and another scene and another scene. Yeah. And you haven't got time to process any kind of criticism. You're just going along with the flow, and it kind of just fits in. As ridiculous as it is, I think it worked.
Yeah.
In the chat, Club Star Wars, the thing with the indie movie, I'll start again. The thing with the indie movies is you really do have to suspend belief. Although the Crystal Skull, the first 20 minutes is the best part.
Yeah, I agree with that. I love the first 20 minutes. I thought that was back to the old indie, and then suddenly it just got stupid. You know, the bit with the ants, that was just crap. That was just so stupid.
Yeah, the whole sequence from the kind of jungle through to the temple thing right at the end. Yeah, it's just
it's very dumbed down.
Yes,
Yeah.
of course. If it was Ryan Johnson, then we would have taken Indiana Jones, and he would have been a rather a despondent old archaeologist who doesn't believe in history anymore. He just wants to go to an island and die. That's the way old Ruin would have approached it.
Would he have thrown his bullwhip over the cliff?
Who knows? Probably.
Of course, he would have dropped his pants and rammed the old handle of the whip up his jacksie. Yes, any way to ridicule old Harrison and the indie fans. That's what I'm all about. But I see Mangold's doing a fine job insulting the fans. Let's hope he follows through with the movie. Go on there, Mangold.
I was going to say, does anybody know if Karen Allen is in Indy 5?
No idea.
Because if she isn't, that means he's divorced her. And we've got the same situation bad dad, and the same situation as the Star Wars films.
I will stand corrected. Bad white dad.
Yeah, exactly. So if it starts off like that, and you're in the cinema, and they say, you know, Indiana Jones says, "Yeah, I had a divorce," then leave the cinema because you know what's coming up. Everything else is just going to fall into place. So yeah, I hope Karen Allen's in it because I really like Karen Allen.
I think the problem with these films is, they should have been made 20 years ago.
They wanted to make it 20 years ago.
Yeah, because if they were going to do maybe another trilogy, they should have done them. Maybe after The Last Crusade, maybe give it, I don't know.
No, Last Crusade should have finished.
Yeah, I know.
I know. It was perfect.
I know, but it's the Hollywood business machine, isn't it?
Don't know. Just seriously.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, take your leaf out of Ricky Gervais. Ricky Gervais of The Office. He knew when to stop. He just knew. He didn't want to spoil the memory of it, so he stopped it. You know what I mean? So, and I think a lot of clever people do that with their own material. You know, they know when it's time to stop. And Indiana Jones should have stopped at the last one because it was perfect. Perfect ending to an enjoyable movie.
Club Star Wars in the chat. Do you think certain fans would be more excited for Jones 5 if the Star Wars sequels had been a success? I will ask Ruin.
Yeah, well, I mean, just answering myself if I could. So I actually think I do think they are separate fan bases. I don't think necessarily there's if you're into one, you're into the other. I do think they can be separate. There's definitely a crossover, and I think what would have given people confidence is if they would have Disney Lucasfilm under the production of Kathleen Kennedy. If that was handled the right way, we'd all feel a lot better about this. But yeah, we see the most popular franchise in movie history just completely mishandled, and zero planning, just
dry-bummed,
pretty horrendous. So yeah, anyone who is a fan of both has got to be going into this thinking, as Ruin would say, expectations could well be subverted.
Wouldn't be surprised if that happened to you. It's not good. As I said, right? I mean, maybe it's just us. Maybe the world is passing us by, and this is the natural course the world should be going in. This crappy cult. That's what's happening now. I don't know, but what I do know is what I like, and basically, if this film isn't a boy's own adventure and Indiana Jones is not beating the crap out of people and it's not a good story, I know I'm just going to throw my hands in the air like I just don't care and tell everybody it was rubbish, and so is everybody else going to do it as well.
Jazz hands. Jazz hands.
Mangold will be on to you, Ian. He'll be in your mentions.
Mr. Mangold. I mean, I'm sure he'll do a good job. He'll do his best. But if the script is actually crap and pandering to the cult, then yeah, we're in trouble. Well, he's in trouble.
Do you think he will do the best job he can with the cards that he's dealt with?
Well, I mean,
because he's a good director.
No, but as Ruin said, sorry, what's your real name? Is it Anthony?
How dare you dox me online?
I'm sure, you told me before, right?
Yeah, it's Anthony. Yeah.
All right. So, as Anthony said, right? I mean, with Ron Howard, he did his best with Solo, didn't he? And that's all Mangold can do. Yeah. If it's a crap script, all he can do is do his best. He's a working director. It's up to him, really. And
I don't think anyone pins the blame for Solo on Ron Howard. That's the other thing. I think they say not a great script. Some of the casting wasn't particularly great, and I very rarely hear bad things at Ron Howard. And I think part of that is because he was quite magnanimous in how he approached it. And and unfortunately, Mangold's put himself in a position now where he's going to get some stick if this doesn't pan out well.
Yeah, not very clever thing to write on Twitter, is it? Just stay off Twitter. I mean, who has time to actually write on Twitter when you're making a film? I've made feature films and I've had no time to even blow my nose, let alone fucking write on a Twitter page. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. The Mega Geek swore live on air.
I noticed that.
Rare occasion.
Record the time. Posterity.
56, 40. Yeah. I think he's getting upset.
Triggered by the Nazi ship or whatever it is on screen.
I don't know what that is.
I will say, picture Terry Blackburn. Thank you. I shouldn't have nicked it, but sorry. But you're getting a mention. I think there's going to be timey-wimey retcon shit on this film. What do you think, guys?
I hope not.
It's probably going to be flashbacks.
Yeah.
Well, I presume we've gone beyond the period of the Nazis, so there's kind of got to be, hasn't there? Unless they're kind of trying to build some Nazis are still knocking around.
Well, put it this way: I've seen production images of a device which might be a MacGuffin called Diglocker, which is in ancient aliens terms, a device allegedly used by the Nazis to defy gravity and travel in time.
Oh,
nice! Nice.
We don't know if that's actually going to be employed in the story yet.
Wow.
But it's at least in the production art. We don't. It might be just like a blueprint on the wall of a Nazi office or something. I don't know. But there could be a time travel element to it. There could be some kind of, manipulation of the past. But I think there's a sect of, this is my own personal opinion, I think there's a sect of the Nazis that still survived, and they're continuing on.
Yeah, they're on Twitter.
Throughout that's today, but we're talking about back in the 60s. Okay. So there's this kind of breakaway arm of the Nazis that's still kind of going on, a bit like the Imperial Remnant in Star Wars, and they're kind of they're still trying to keep things alive, and they've got their own sort of clandestine projects going on. So they've looked into the occult with the Ark of the Covenant and the Spear of Destiny and all that kind of stuff. And we all know that Hitler tried to seek out these archaeological
he did
instruments like the Holy Grail, etc. So I think it might be something to do with some kind of supernatural technology that the Nazis got hold of, and they're still in production, but they're kind of working behind the scenes, and Indy might sort of uncover it. So I think that's what's going on. I'm just hazarding a guess, but that looks more likely to me.
I am just going to say, with input like that, you can come on this channel anytime, mate.
Oh, I just did because I talked about aliens. Oh,
very, very good point. That was fantastic. Peacock says, here we go.
Hydra. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's included since they're under the Disney banner.
Multiverse.
It's a bit Iron Sky as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
disappeared to the moon and come back.
Iron Sky got their ideas from that concept.
It's a kind of conspiracy theory about them still being in Argentina and sex that are untouched and stuff.
I thought they were on the moon as well.
Yeah, that's their moon base, etc., etc. Yeah, there's actually quite a lot of evidence to suggest it happened as well. So they might have looked into that and thought, oh, there's a story here. You know, we can actually do something with it.
Thanks,
in
mate.
the chat, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see it.
What does it say, Ian? Do you want to read it out?
So thrilled I managed to tune in to hear Mega Geek swear. Well, I try not to swear, but sometimes, you know, do you know what really gets my goat though? Is that the fact is that they could have made, you know, this film could have been this Indy 5 could have been a great movie with the right people attached, but we all suspect it's going to be crap because, as I said, we haven't got the team on board, the real team, which is Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and the rest of them. You know,
sold it, so
he did sold it right. But the thing is, though, you know, he could have been consulting on it or something, you know, and Spielberg could be directing. See, Spielberg may have had his best days behind him, but he's still a freaking great director, isn't he? You know. Great at doing sequences and stuff. So, he's
gone off the boil though, hasn't he? Since he's lost his passion, I think.
You reckon he's lost his passion?
I think he's gone. I think he's a bit by numbers these days. Yeah, he's not like he was when he was doing Close Encounters and Jaws, etc. He was you could tell he was hungry and ready to make the next, you know, big movie, and he's so inspiring and inspired as well. And these days, I think he's kind of just sort of faxing it in almost, you know.
Yeah.
By numbers, not BI. BY.
Yeah,
Cruel Birab. Hail Cruel. The Germans using fancy devices. Wolfenstein.
Yeah, the ideas behind Wolfenstein were taken from similar origins as well. Yeah.
I remember playing Wolfenstein back on the old days on the Apple Mac in the 90s. Great game.
You see how they did you guys must have seen Endgame, right? Do you see how they made Michael Douglas young? Yeah, it's amazing, absolutely amazing what they can do these days. It's incredible. So I wouldn't be surprised if they are going to make Harrison Ford look a lot younger in a flashback, maybe, and stuff like that. And also that really terrible Terminator film, the bit in the beginning.
Which one? There's a few of them.
Woke Fate.
The last one. Well, yeah, Woke Fate. That one where Arnie turns up and shoots the little kid, John Connor. I mean, that's amazing. The effects in that shot was just absolutely amazing. Let's face it.
That's
so they
really believable, wasn't it? That.
Yeah.
Shame it was so shit, but the effects were mind blowing.
Yeah.
Also, Kurt Russell in Guardians 2. I thought that was fantastic. Deep fake.
Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
I will say to Captain Hipster Spock, there is a link on your Twitter DM, mate, if you want to come on.
It's funny because I remember the ending of Endgame where they're all standing there at Tony Stark's funeral, and I thought they were all comped in, but apparently they were all there on the day. That's bloody impressive.
All right, so they didn't need post-production to fix it that time.
No, I mean, obviously the Hulk was comped in, but the rest of them were all there. Because as I said, if you look at Cumberbatch, where his name is, he doesn't blink in that scene at all. So when I was watching that scene, I thought that's got to be a comp. But he was there. He didn't blink.
He's got no eyelids, apparently.
Yeah. He was there. So
my favorite part was when Captain America came back as Joe Biden. That was a fabulous ending to the movie.
Christ almighty, that is. Yeah, now you mention it. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, the president in waiting, Kamala Harris.
That's incredible because what they did was, as I read, correct me if I'm wrong, they got an old man to sit in the same place as Chris Evans, and then they put makeup on Chris Evans, and they did the scene, and they mold them both together. That's why he looks so real as an old guy. That's crazy. They can do that now. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, just need a movie like that. The next Star Wars movie to be like that, to be set just after Return of the Jedi with Mark Hamill playing his younger self. That'd be great.
That'd
Wouldn't
be amazing, right? That would be amazing. It's not too
Well,
late to save Star Wars.
I know a
It's not-
director.
It's a shame because I really liked Roundhead before he did Star Wars. I
Yeah.
liked who was it? Looper.
Looper.
I thought Looper was okay. You know, it wasn't fantastic, but
Looper
it
was
was
decent.
enjoyable.
It's such a
Yeah.
surprise.
I quite enjoyed Looper.
I thought it was all right as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think
And-
about it too much, though. That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. I didn't think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
He directed the Breaking Bad episodes.
yeah, and
Which
some
were-
really, really good ones as well.
Whoa.
You know,
The
He's-
Fly, that was one of them. Fly.
It's a shame. It's a shame he
Well.
did that. he bent the knee to Kathleen Kennedy. It's a shame.
Put
there
the
you
knee
go.
into Mark Hamill.
Yeah.
So just getting back to old Harrison and Indy. So just another parallel for you. So what if they did something like with Blade Runner 2049?
Oh, no, don't make no, Blade Runner. No. Carry on. Sorry.
Well, no, just thinking because they found a way there of kind of introducing a new
Deckard.
character, but still keeping Harrison involved in the film. And
No, it was that film was awful. It was slow. It was boring. It was dull. It was well lit. And what you call it? Harrison Ford was in it. Was only a guest star in his own movie. It was absolute dross. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of people like it, but oh man, that movie was such a disappointment. Such a disappointment.
And
I liked it.
I know you did.
I will just say the secret of comedy is timing, and we are just talking about Blade Runner 2049, and guess who's just turned up?
Harrison
You
Ford.
incited the devil. You
Hey.
incited the devil. What are you doing?
Guess who's just turned up to
Are you talking about the
defend-
guy with his mic, the guy who has the mic that actually zones in and zones out? You're talking about him.
He does that because he can.
Yeah, I'm sure he can. All right, Cockney, come on, mate.
Oh,
My
there he is.
microphone is a replicant, sir. It pops in, it pops out, just like the tide, sir. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Cockney.
we are just
Tell you what.
talking Blade Runner 2049 and how much Mega Geek hates it.
I don't hate it. I just didn't like it.
I
That is a
didn't
big
hate it,
difference.
I just despised it.
Didn't despise it. It was okay in bits, but the whole film just didn't work for me. Just really didn't work. It was slow. It was plodding. It was none of the characters. You didn't care about any of the characters. You know, Harrison Ford was a guest star appearance in his own movie. What more can I say? It was just. It is what it is, right?
Blade Crawler 2, even slower than the last one.
In its
Still don't
defense,
know.
I'm going to try and mount a defense here.
Go
in
on
its
then.
defense,
Go on, Ruin.
I see the Blade Runners as a kind of I don't know what genre you call it, but a kind of sci-fi noir. So
Yeah.
I kind of go in kind of expecting that. Because if you look at the original Blade Runner, the pacing on that was fairly slow as well. Yeah, so yeah, I was okay with that. I'm not saying it's an absolute perfect movie or anything, but I enjoyed it. I've got to be honest. What's interesting to know? Am I the only idiot who thinks this, or what about Brian?
No, Cockney, and
Good question.
Ian, I think.
Someone say idiot. What?
I will just say
Ruin.
before we get to Cockney, I'm totally with you, Ruin, because when I went to see it, I knew it was you go there for the experience. It's going to plod. It's going to look pretty, but you're there for the experience of a well-crafted film.
When you have to work hard to enjoy a movie, then the movie fails. And that movie, you had to work really hard. It was too slow. You could have cut a whole hour out of that movie, and it still would have. You still would have got a story there. Too long.
I didn't work at all, and I enjoyed it. Cockney?
Well, you know, I've got no problem with that.
I just think the idea of all opinions are valid. The very idea of debating the relative merits of Blade Runner, We can't even agree on facts like whether he's a replicant. That's the real question. Come on now, is the film good? I mean, you know, I like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, and I never bothered watching Avengers Endgame. So we've all got different, you know, the quality of a film. Oh, I'm not even touching that one with a barge pole. I mean, I think it's too exciting. Blade Runner, too quick, too much action. Should be more talking, more pondering, more walking around the cityscape of Los Angeles of 2019 or 2049, respectively. Basically, just looking up. Oh, look, there's a piece of steam. Look, some condensation. And neon lights. I mean, do that for 5 hours. I'm happy, but you know, that's just me, isn't it?
I'd like to say I don't have any problem with people liking films I don't like. It's
us.
fine, you know. It really doesn't bother me at all. I can honestly, truly say I had a bit of a disagreement with most of my friends because I don't like 2001. And everybody was like, "What? You don't like 2001? What is wrong with you?
Yeah, that is.
Are you crazy?" Yeah, and I don't like it because it's long and it's dull and it's boring and it's, you know, it only picks up, you know, quarter of the way through. You know what I mean? But it's just my opinion, you know?
Did you notice how we've been banging on about 2010 for ages on this channel? Did you notice how Critical Drinker picked up on it?
Yeah, he copied me. I did that last year. He copied me. And also...
It was a good review, though. It was a good review.
It was.
But I tell you whose review was better. What's his name? Cullen. Dave Cullen did one on 2010. His review was much better.
Oh,
so... But yeah, Dave Cullen's review on, and he said more or less what Critical Drinker said about it. So, and I always thought 2010 was much better than 2001 because you care about the characters in 2010 and you know what's going on.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's just
welcome to review. A review.
Reviewing the reviews.
We'll be reviewing the review of the review.
Now that's meta.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is you sorry, Courtney, you preferred the Dave Cullen review to the Critical Drinkers review.
They're both really good, both of the reviews, because they both more or less said the same thing.
Yeah.
But I saw Critical Drinkers one first, and when I saw, I saw Dave Cullen's one first. But when I saw, Critical Drinkers one, they're very much the same. They're very much have the same points, if you know what I mean. So yeah.
Courtney.
Well, I tell you what, I know I'm coming in late. I've not even had a cup of tea yet. Can you hear the kettle going in the background?
Yep. Excellent.
So but I'll tell you what, thanks to your review of Raiders, I actually watched it last night. I watched Temple of Doom before that. But one thing I've boggled my own mind. Imagine 1936 just seems like ages ago, and it did back in 1981. Quick bit of basic maths. According to this calculator, the gap from 1936 to 1981 is a mere 45 years. The gap from 1981 to today is 40 years. Does that mean if they make Indiana Jones 6 in 5 years' time, he's going to go to the cinema and watch himself have an adventure? That would be so meta.
Yeah.
Right. Wow. I just blew my. I didn't realize 1936 was so recent. You know what I mean? It seems like ancient history. So there you go. I want to see the 6th Indiana Jones film set in 1981, basically, just to round off the series. Indiana Jones and the trip to the cinema. Oh, it was so meta.
But was it you that said that Indiana Jones, if they stuck with the timeline, he'd be able to see Star Wars and see himself in it?
Well, yeah, exactly. 1 year shy, because it'd be 76, because it'd be 40 years later from the first one. So exactly that. 36, 40 years, 76. Come on, Marion, let's go to the flicks. What's on? I Am. What?
That's very high concept.
Yeah, there you go. It's crazy, right? When you think about it, just goes to show how old I am. Yeah. Oh man, I'm too
That reminds
old.
me of this thing. I was thinking last night. I was watching Bake Off, right? Which
Oh God, no!
Right? It was because someone else was watching it. I just watched a little bit of it, and Noel Fielding was presenting on it. Now I'm a big Noel Fielding fan. I love the Mighty Boosh, and I just thought, wow, if they made a new series of the Mighty Boosh now, it could have like Vince and all the other characters all sat in the lounge watching TV.
It might be funny.
And Howard comes in and goes, "Come on, Vince, we're going nightclubbing. We're going to go and have a punk recital or something like that." He's like, "Oh, sorry, Howard, I've just finished off watching this episode of the Bake Off. Oh, come on, don't bother with that rubbish. Yeah, look at this bloke here in his hair. What's he thinking about? Look at that! Look, what a tosser." He basically just do a similar thing, right, with Indiana Jones, when he's in the cinema, he's watching Star Wars, and going, I don't really understand what this film's about. A lot of garbage. Goddamn idiot running around with a fucking.
Was that your Harrison Ford impression?
Everybody. Oh, yeah.
That's his Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, well, never mind. Yeah.
What do you mean she's your damn sister, kid?
As I said, I'm not looking forward to this, but hey, you know, it might be good. You know, you got to cross your fingers on this stuff, don't you? Really.
I don't know about you, Ian, but if the film is good, we will come on this stream and we will sing its praises, won't we?
Yeah, yeah. You know, I was hoping we would do that with Star Wars when I first saw the first Star Wars, and yeah, well, that didn't work, did it? So there you go.
Judging from Mangold's track record, I've got a glimmer of hope, but only a glimmer.
I agree.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. If there's a man other than Spielberg and Lucas who could pull it out the fire.
No, I would never have hired Mangold to direct this. If it was my choice, I would hire another director. I mean, no, well, apart from myself, I would, you know, you talk to people. I don't know. I would talk to I don't know, maybe Cameron. Maybe he'll have a really good take on it because he was really good with Alien, wasn't he? The first Alien, and he came up with the idea.
David Cameron.
Yeah, David Cameron. Yeah,
he's not busy these days, is he?
No, he's not. James Cameron would probably make it. You know, he'd be honoured. He'd be honoured to direct it, wouldn't he?
He's too
Ryan
busy
Johnson,
doing his
maybe?
people.
Oh,
Ryan Johnson. Yeah.
Proven track record of fucking shit up. I'm sure he'd be perfect.
He's got this great PR with the public as well. You know, he's got a great rapport with the fans. I think. Yeah, Johnson's probably a great choice to destroy the franchise.
You wouldn't have caught me calling someone a basement dweller. It would have been a Manbaby or an arsehole or a sexist, racist.
Do you know who
idiot.
would be good? The guy who directed the first Craig James Bond film. I can't remember his name. He's brilliant.
Martin Campbell.
Martin Campbell. If they got Martin Campbell to direct this, Martin Campbell's a really good director with action and stuff.
What a great shout! Because it's there's Bond and Jones are essentially Indiana Jones is basically
Did he do Green Lantern?
Version of
he
Bond.
did, unfortunately, but it was a paid job, so he did it.
That's what I've always said. Yeah, the kind of him and Bond are very, very similar. So
yeah,
I think the director would have been a great choice. You're right.
Yeah.
And also, he's really good at actually bringing things back to life because they hired him for the I think it was the Pierce Brosnan first one, and then they brought him back again for Daniel Craig's one, didn't they? So he's really good at bringing stuff back to life, and he's so full of energy for a man of his age. He really is. You see the way he directs. He's like screaming at what's his name, Craig, to run really fast. Go on, go, action. So I think he'd be really good. And he did Marcus Zorro, which was a really great movie.
Can you remember back in the 80s though? Can you remember back in the 80s and 90s when we just used to enjoy films and we didn't even think about who directed or wrote them, did we?
We took it for granted.
We just got on with
every
it.
film was going to be great.
Yeah.
Enjoy films, you mad?
These days we're kind of
enjoy them.
We're also concerned about who's directing and who's producing and who's marketing it and who's making the toys. It's like we really shouldn't care about this stuff. We should just appreciate the fact that we're getting the escapism. But we've all been so tainted by what Hollywood has done to us over the last 10 years. I don't know.
In the chat, Krual Birab, there were a few experimental aircraft mistaken for UFOs back then. I think we're talking
probably Harrison Ford flying them.
There's definitely MC says there's definitely flying saucers in those concept pics, but the Germans did develop.
They did, There's pictures,
So we kind of agreed that it's going to be to do with that.
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah, probably.
It's that kind of Nazi bell bottom thing at the top corner, isn't it? That's kind of.
Who released these pictures anyway? Is it the studio or is it someone behind the scenes that took pictures and just put it out? Who did anybody know who released these pictures?
No.
Because if you're going to take a picture of this, you wouldn't cut half the picture off.
You wouldn't have
And-
some guy in the bottom left, bottom right hand
With his-
corner.
That's right.
Bald bit.
Male pattern baldness going on there.
Is this released
Yeah.
by the studio, or is it someone that was on the set that wasn't allowed to take photographs, but yet he
Looks
snuck
like a
a
leak.
couple out?
Can we deep fake some hair on that chap in the bottom corner?
Okay, I promise for the next time we come on, I will deep fake some hair.
Yeah. As I said, I don't. You know, this can't be the studio because they wouldn't release half a picture, will they? I mean, it's a bit stupid.
If you're trying to do a crafty picture on the sly,
Yeah, portrait mode.
classic
yeah, I
science
guess.
portrait mode.
Yeah.
Is that Keir Starmer on the on the left hand side?
I don't know.
It is there. It is. It's Keir Starmer. Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen. Yeah.
Mads Mikkelsen.
Get out of my cantina! Out of my cantina!
He's woke enough to be involved, isn't he, Keir Starmer?
What's those things at the bottom?
Yes.
The circle things. Is that like a
It looks like
time-
black hole, like a time portal kind
Time
of
portal or
vortex.
something.
Yeah, same warp.
Looks like Canto
Vortex.
Bites to me.
Who was the boy sweeping? No, that was a counter bite, was it? Or was it? That
Oh,
stupid
God.
ending in that film is ridiculous.
That was
Little boy
well, that
sweeping.
was it wasn't Canto Bite. Canto Bite was the casino bit, but it was in the planet, which I think if you check those answers ruined from earlier on, you might know one.
Yes, I
Oh.
do. I won't disclose, but I know exactly what you're referring to, Brian.
But those
Yeah.
UFOs are called originally they were called Haunabu. Apparently, it's a German name for I don't know
UFOs?
what it translates like flying disc or something. But
God,
they
it's
were
good.
they were called in as the concept stage Haunabu, and the Stonehenge type thing there is a flight frame used to test the bell shaped object in the top left, sorry. Because it fits directly within that structure, and it's like a test frame that they chained it to the frame.
Wow.
So because it didn't have any attitude control or anything like that, so they were testing its anti-gravitational capabilities by levitating it in that stone circle, and they chained it to the stone circle so it like keep it under control. But they were using that to use as the levitate, so it could practice levitating without flying off at weird angles and killing whoever's.
I genuinely never knew you was you had such a knowledge of German technology.
Of late Nazi technology.
Yeah.
Well, the
I
Americans
doff my
developed
cap,
that
mate.
as well, didn't they?
Everything from the Allied side, Father. No, mainly just the Nazis.
MC in the chat, it's the black hole meets Vincent and Bob.
Bob, yeah. Yeah.
And then he says, top right, Nazi butt plug.
But didn't Bob Lazar talk about the
Butt
anti-gravity thing, Matt?
Element 115.
That's it, element
Anti-gravity
115.
butt plugs. Michael, whatever next?
I mean, you know, if you're to believe him, of course. I think I believe him, actually, Bob Lazar.
MC says Swap Shop knows his UFO stuff.
He
I
does.
think you may be correct.
Are you there, Matt?
I am here. I'm listening.
Oh,
Is
Beamed
it
that's-
true they're not called UFOs anymore? It's PFJ or KFC or something. They changed it to
UAPs,
something else.
unidentified aerial
not
phenomena.
bothered
Now
with
they're
them.
Ryan
official.
knows.
Ooh.
Yeah.
KFCs.
No,
Yeah.
well,
Flying
sorry,
chickens.
That was a reference to the fact. Did you know in Montreal they're so stubborn about speaking French they refuse to call Kentucky Fried Chicken KFC. And even in bloody Paris they call it KFC. No, poulet food, PFJ. So sorry, that's where it's filed in my brain next to the anecdote. You can't call them UFOs anymore. It's PFJ or some French bollocks. I don't know.
The People's Front of
Typical Cockney
Judea.
Half the story. I don't know what they are.
Fuck off.
Yeah, quite right. Quite right. You can't say UFO anymore. It's offensive. Sorry.
Sorry, PCAT in the chat. We need a Ruin alien invasion movie.
Oh,
There'd be
God,
no
not another one.
aliens.
That's a fine idea.
PCAT, I think we've asked this before. Are you on the Ruin the Manbaby payroll?
Probably.
Who
Has
is
he got
it
his-
these days?
Has he got his tickets yet for Galaxy's Edge?
He not only has his tickets, he has his hotel and his travel all paid for.
Can I just ask for a sec? Do we know when this indie film is set? What year it's set in?
76.
60s, isn't it?
It is the 60s, but does anyone know?
I think so.
Because
I don't
the
know.
only reason why I ask is because there was an incident in 1965 called the Kecksburg UFO incident.
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
Wow.
And it occurred on December the 9th in 1965 in Pennsylvania, when a fireball was reported by citizens of 6 US states and Canada over Detroit, Michigan. And it was the device that was retrieved after being crashed was acorn-shaped, said to have been acorn or bell-shaped. And it's hypothesized that the retrieved vehicle was a post-time travel Nazi bell-shaped ship.
It wasn't a butt plug.
Hopefully not. I don't know why we would need to time travel, but you never know.
But the Americans have been, Project Pegasus? They've been developing a time travel machine as well, haven't they?
Philadelphia
so they say.
experiments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
experiment as well.
But there's one guy that claims that when he was a kid, they sent him back in time and all that shit. So
that's
I mean, who knows?
Courtney Spock.
That is my area this week. Time travel, timey-wimey nonsense. You can't go back in time. And if you can, only one of three things can happen. Check out my current video, timey-wimey.
Okay.
Top trip trop. Trying to get it to 300 views. Yeah, it's if they've got time travel in Indiana Jones, that's it. I'm going back in time myself and unbuying my tickets to Raiders and the other two. For goodness sake. No.
I definitely unbuy my tickets to the fourth one and the Last Jedi as well.
Right. Aliens is one thing. Time travel, that's a level of bollocks too far, even for me.
If I could go back in time, I think I would go left instead of right on that day. But there you go. Cruel Birab says, Operation Paperclip. The Allies got all the German scientists.
It's true.
Basically got them to the moon as well, didn't they?
Yeah, Werner von Braun, rocket technician. Yes, he was in the SS as well, and they employed him in the US for their for the NASA rocket program. I know. Yeah, I know about it all. It's shocking, really, when you think about it.
SS, small details. Don't worry about it, Werner.
They wanted to beat the Russians, though, didn't they? They wanted to beat the Russians, so they were desperate.
Yeah, the Kecksburg UFO incident was in 1965. So if this film is set in 65, maybe it's about the time travel device dropping out of time and Indiana Jones sort of discovers it, etc. And it may involve something going on in the past that was, or a member of the Nazi party that jumped into the time travel device and jumped forwards to 1965, and he's got to try and find this guy and track him down. Maybe that's who Mads Mikkelsen right there is playing.
Yeah, probably. But the thing is, though, this is not Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is about, finding artifacts and, the Indiana Jones I know anyway. So what's this time travel, timey-wimey thing doing in Indiana Jones? Doesn't sit well with me.
Could it be connected to the Crystal Skull they took off in a big... Did they go off in a spaceship, or was it a time...
They went off in a spaceship at the end.
Close Encounters, he went off in the ship, didn't he? Yeah. Goodbye, Indy. Bye, everyone. Indy,
they got away with the alien thing by saying, oh, they're not aliens, they're interdimensional beings. Like, how is that different? Come on.
Yeah, big difference, exactly. Oh, another dimension, you say? Oh, that's all right then.
They've been asleep for so many years. That was the thing.
Ray Winston woke him up,
Ray Winston.
God. I'm the fucking daddy alien now. Smack.
He got killed, didn't he?
Sorry, not alien. I'm the daddy trans-dimensional being. Beg your pardon. Smack.
He was trying to sell in-match betting to them, and they said, nope.
Who's the guy that directed The Mummy? The original, I wouldn't say the original, but The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. He'd be quite good at directing this, wouldn't he? Because
who directed Quigley Down Under?
I don't know.
Who directed it? Sorry,
Stephen Summers.
Stephen Summers. Yes. Yeah, he'd be really good at directing this because Stephen Summers is. I think he's quite a good director. He's gone off the boil, but I mean, The Mummy was so entertaining. It was really, really entertaining.
I thought
lots of gags in that.
How many good Mummy films were there? Was there 2 or 3?
I think just the 2, and the third one was rubbish. But
I remember the first 2 were really, really great.
Well, the first one was great. The second one was okay, in my opinion. But the third one was absolute rubbish. Put it that way. He also directed another film that I was very fond of. I can't remember what it was called now. It was about this big monster in a ship. Treat Williams was in it.
Jaws.
Oh, no, what was it called? I can't remember, but it's good. It's a good film, though. It's good. It's very funny. But yeah, Mummy was great. Just find a really good director to direct this. Mangold might not be the person to actually pull it out of, make a decent film.
Cruel Birab says the third had Jet Li.
The third was rubbish. Come on.
Yeah, they went away from the kind of Egyptian theme, and they went into
Deep
kind
Rising.
of the Oriental. Yeah,
Yeah, they
explored
did.
that.
Deep Rising. Yeah. Anybody seen Deep Rising?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
Cruel
Yeah, I've
touch
seen
and
it. Yeah.
It's
Cruel
entertainment
Birab.
movie. Great one-liners.
Well done,
really
Cruel.
funny. Really fast-moving. Really great film. Deep Rising.
Yeah, PCAT says Mrs. Bond
Rachel
was
Weisz,
missing in the third
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, definitely.
She's gorgeous. Even now, she's gorgeous. Oh my
Oof.
God.
Don't
Rachel
start
Weisz.
Cockney on it.
Do you like Rachel
Oh.
Weisz, Cockney?
I'm not a huge fan, but you might have noticed she's on one of my videos, so she's on the list. She's all right. You wouldn't kick her out of bed for not making you a cup of tea early, would you? No.
MC says, yes, Deep Rising, a great B movie. Well done, Cruel Birab. Yes.
Yeah,
agreed.
it's
Well
a
done,
great-
Cruel.
If you guys haven't seen Deep Rising, I recommend it highly. It's such a fun movie, and it's
Okay,
got
so-
great one-liners in it. Absolutely great
Deep
one-liners.
Rising.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Right. I think we're going to finish, guys, if that's okay.
Oh, I'm just getting warmed up. Sure.
Oh,
Are you gonna
tea
drink
still
your
warm?
tea?
I've
Yeah.
got a question for the panel. I know I showed
Yeah,
up
go on.
late, but because something I've noticed, George Lucas is very obsessed with the viewing order of Star Wars. He's not quite figured it out. With Raiders of the Lost Ark, at least in my experience, none of my box sets have got any numbers on them. So I'm very much of the opinion that Temple of Doom is episode 1. You should get that one out of the way, like Brussels sprouts, and then watch Raiders. I'm wondering if anyone's got any strong views on the viewing order.
Mm.
I don't really. It's fine, you know. I mean, if he, I thought, watching Raiders and then Temple of Doom and then and then Last Crusade, it's fine with me. Why would you watch them in the order that he mucked up? Put it that way. And as you said yesterday, Cockney, that joke with the gun doesn't work, does it? In the second one.
There you go. Meta reference.
Yeah. Don't bother me.
Ian, your VHS.
Yeah. What about
How many tapes are in there? Is it just the three? or-
Four, because it's got the making of on there as well.
Right. Okay.
See what he did
okay.
there? He subverted our expectations.
Yeah.
4, but only 3
Yeah.
movies.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
it's a great the VHSs are terrific. I mean, as I said, the only thing that's missing now is the 4K, the 4K one. So I'm going to get that one next, and then my collection will be completed.
Oh,
There you
you're
go.
going for the 4K, are you?
Yeah.
You've made the decision.
Yes.
Right, good on you. Well done.
I'd buy those actually, yeah, because I don't have them on DVD, video, or anything. So if I'm watching them, it's going to be streamed off the internet. So I do need solid copies of them before someone comes in and hacks them to pieces and changes all the scenes around and changes Indiana Jones into some soy boy bloke.
Yeah.
sucking green titty milk somewhere. I don't know. I'll just say that I will give Indiana Jones 5 time
Same here.
if they have short round in it.
No, Dr. Jones.
Short round.
No
is
time
an
for
old
love.
man.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say, we're going to finish off now, guys. But I will just ask the question, basically in a paragraph. I know, famous last words. Do you have any hope for the film? So we'll start off with Cockney. Do you have any hope for Jones 5?
Yeah, none, fuck all, and Bob. End of it.
Yes, I don't know.
Swap shop feelings or
You know what?
statement?
I was completely written off on this film at all. I was just ready to ridicule it from beginning to end as soon as the trailer popped up, and all through development, I was just ready to just give it a good kicking every single time it arose. But after speaking to Dan on Spacebook a few days ago, he kind of like rekindled my interest a little bit. And these leaked pics and stuff kind of made me start getting all a little bit sort of intrigued. And I thought, you know what, maybe there's a chance. I mean, Mangold's done some good stuff, so I'm willing to give it the benefit of the doubt for now. Mangold's got to keep his trap shut from now on, though.
I will just say, with what you said earlier about all the kind of German technology stuff, I think my ears have pricked up now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a shame you're not involved with the film. But there you go. Mega Geek, any words?
I'll go and see it, definitely, because I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan, but I get the strange feeling I'm going to be disappointed with the end result. I remember me and Keith, we went to see Crystal Skull, and we were so excited when the cinema was smiling, and we came out with a frown on our face. So yeah, but I'm expecting that with this one, because let's face it, right? There's no way they can top Last Crusade, Temple of Doom, or even Raiders of the Lost Ark, because we're living in a different era now. And Harrison Ford is way too old to do this, even though he seems to be fit and seems he can handle it. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I think all of those things are going against it. Plus, we've got Kathleen Kennedy, and we know what she's done to Star Wars. I don't know about her. She's an actress. She'll do. Hopefully, she'll do what's been. Do what she's told. But yeah, I still get a feeling that it's never going to be as good as the first three. Put it that way. And if it isn't, then it's going to be disappointing, right? So. But I will go and see it, though. Definitely go and see it.
Brian?
If Mangold is able to treat Indy with the same respect that he offered to Logan, I think we might get a decent film. Might. Nice.
And?
Sorry. You finished, Brian. I've written some more.
I hope he's able to do that and deliver something.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
We did say a paragraph. That was a paragraph, was it not?
It was.
It's more of a sentence.
A sentence.
I will say, genuinely, I would have loved Mr. Mangold to come on this time, because
coward. Where are you, Mangold?
He couldn't find the.
He did issue a partial apology to Matthew, didn't he?
I genuinely would have. It would have been good, but yeah, it would have been good. But as I said, if the film's amazing, Ian and myself will say, "Well done, mate." So, okay. So, shall we just finish off with Ruin then? So, Ruin, thoughts, and then we'll.
Well, obviously, any director, from my own experience, any director who takes time out of his busy schedule to get into arguments with fans on Twitter and abuse them, call them basement dwellers, well, to me, that says he must have a goddamn classic on his hands. So I can't wait. I think good for you, Mangold. You put those basement dwellers where they belong. And yes, I'm sure we're about to experience a fully woke classic, and I can't wait to see it.
We'll see.
I would say, looking at the chat, I think the chat is willing to give it a go. I think we're all willing. Yeah, the Manbabies, all the Manbabies are willing to give it a go. And
because we love Indiana Jones,
yeah,
we like it's the thought of it being great again. But as I said, all the odds are against it, aren't they? It's never going to be as good as the first three, because Harrison Ford's too old. He's the key to all of this. He's the key to the film, and if he doesn't work, the rest of the film's not going to work. So anyway, I'm glad to see he's back as Indy, but I just hope it's a good film, and and we can all get behind Indy and his age and stuff like that. And I don't know. I really hope it's good, because I want to see him again.
Maybe he doesn't give a shit about Han Solo, and we know that he was complicit with dispatching him. He does like Indiana Jones, though, doesn't he? So maybe the film's got that going for it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
We'll see.
I'm looking forward to, if I can suggest it, be so bold, reconvening this war panel after the release, and maybe we could see how it pans out.
And I will say, Mr. Mangold, we would love you to come on that war panel. If it's a great film, mate, we will sing your praises from the rooftops. So, anyway.
But if it isn't, we're going to tear you a new one, Mangold.
Okay, guys. So I would just say to everybody in the chat, the regulars, and I know there's a few other people watching, thank you for taking the time to share your Tuesday with us. As I always say, we are nothing without the chat. There's energy that comes from the chat, so I do thank you. If you are new to the channel, if you could press the subscribe button, that would be wonderful, or leave a comment or a thumbs up, anything like that. Also, Cockney Spock, if you want to check his channel out, he does stuff like this as well, so he would appreciate you
Stuff
checking
like
out
this. Do you know what? After party at my place. Once this is over, I'm going to start a broadcast. So they all back to mine, everybody. See you in the chat.
Hey.
So I'll just say to the guests, Cockney Spock, thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Sean.
Swap Shop, superb tonight, mate.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm just glad I didn't come in from the start, but nice to pick up there towards the end.
Genuinely amazing tonight, mate. Well done.
Lovely speaking to everybody. Good to see you all.
Mr. Diaz, thank you.
Yeah. Hello. That's all right. Thank you. I like
goodbye,
talking
more
about
like.
movies. Love talking about films. Love it.
You heard it first, everybody. The Mega Geek likes talking film. Can you believe
And
it?
he likes swearing as well.
And swearing, yes.
I will
Yes.
try not to swear next time.
I will savor this stream because you swore on it. So thank you, sir.
No fucking swearing, please.
Bastard. Cheers, Brian.
Thanks very much. Been horrifically below
Man,
par.
a few
for
words.
numerous
I'm on a
reasons
few
today,
words.
but
I'm on a few
thanks.
words this evening. So cheers, Brian. Thanks a lot, mate.
Cheers.
And the amazing man himself, Ruin the Manbaby, or Anthony, as we like to call him. Thank you, my friend. We'll see you soon, yes?
You absolutely will. I always enjoy cutting the jib with you, chap. So yes, it's been a pleasure. Really, a big Indiana Jones fan actually, as well as Star Wars. So really enjoyed this, and let's see how it goes. And fingers crossed he'll do a decent job.
We'll see if we can get Club Star Wars on next time, because we need to do the Manbaby challenge, don't we, with Swap Shop? We need
There's a title on the line.
Yeah, we need to put that one to bed. So we'll sort that soon, yes?
Oh, yeah.
We shall.
Okay. So all the guests, thank you. Everybody in the chat, thank you. I think we will be popping up on Saturday for the end of week musings. So we'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Taddy
See you
bye.
back at mine. Bye.
We'll see you on Cockney's channel.